a messaging perspective, does Elon need to screenshot that and then send it out as a tweet or whatever we call X nowadays, and then suddenly you've got a couple million people going, oh my God, we're paying dead people. Well,
right. That's the problem with being hyperbolic.
What's going on, you guys? Today we have Kyle Kulinski calling out the right for losing the plot. It's Joe Rogan. He is sort of going off the rails and not completely being grounded in everything that he's been saying lately, and Kyle Kulinski is going in. It's a clip from the Kyle Kulinski show as well as a small clip from the JRE Experience. And yeah, it's a little bit of my commentary. Let's watch.
I like to think maybe I played a tiny role in this, okay? This is in the Daily Beast. Joe Rogan fans are done with his Elon Musk obsession. For a long time, it's me and people like me, we thought we were taking the crazy pills, right? That this, like the #1 podcast in the world and just been so dominant for so long. And it's like you listen to some of it and you're like, who the fuck is watching this, bro? Like, who's watching this? It's literally the jack off Elon Musk hour. Like, what are we doing here? But it caught up. It caught up with him. The popular podcast appears to have switched gears since the November polls. Joe Rogan fans are starting to hate how much he loves Elon Musk, the podcast juggernaut shot to fame for lively discussions of largely non-political topics. But that seems to have changed since President Donald Trump won the election, thanks in part to podcast bros like Rogan. A Reddit community with 1.5 million subscribers dedicated to discussing all things Rogan has grown exasperated with the host constantly fawning over Musk, who he described as a super genius in a recent episode. Oh, that's not even half of the glazing, bro. That's just like a little tiny speck of the glazing that normally happens on this show. Rogan has mentioned Musk by name on all but 2 of the 14 episodes released since Trump's inauguration, according to Politico. The billionaire Doge chief has also appeared on the show 5 times. Quote, the way he fawns over Elon is really off-putting, one Reddit comment reads. It's literally hard to watch, another fan said. Joe and his anti-elite billionaire friends are becoming the swamp they've always hated. One comment called Rogan state-run propagandist media. The Joe Rogan Experience was recently overtaken by the anti-Trump podcast Midas Touch. Okay, I'm going to give you more on that in a second, but let me see. Last time I read this article, I clicked on the thing. So there's a thing here about Elon and Doge. Okay. It's kind of scary how many people in this country genuinely believe that a person's financial success is a direct measure of their intelligence. Yeah.
There's a definite nuance to the situation, to, wanting to say the truth and nothing but the truth and searching for the truth relentlessly and getting caught up in the moment. It appears that, you have Joe Rogan he's had Elon Musk on before a few times. He's had Donald Trump on. He's had JD Vance, and he's going to eventually show his true colors where he's playing a little bit of favorites. He might not even actually have these conservative values that he's pushing to his audience, which is even more silly to me. And he might not even actually feel this way. Deep down, he may, like all of us, be searching for the truth. But at the very end of the day, he is now playing favorites. He is letting Elon get away with a few things that, look, Elon and Trump, they may not be the worst people on the world, but because surrounded by yes men consistently, the same way that Joe Rogan is surrounded by yes men consistently, it does damage. It doesn't let you get the objective picture. You start to not see your own blind spots.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Rando on Joe Rogan subreddit. That's exactly right. And this is one of the things that Rogan has fell for so long. This idea of we already live in a meritocracy, right? Everything's already fair. Everything's already just. So if somebody becomes a billionaire, they're just a mega genius. They just work harder than everybody else. They're just smarter than everybody else. And that is, especially when it comes to Elon, that is immensely preposterous. Some of the hardest working people I've ever known in my life were working 2 or 3 jobs and barely at the poverty line, if that. And I remember in high school, sitting there watching my friend Kevin bust his ass and, wasn't reaping the rewards. And I thought, wow, we've been sold such a massive lie, haven't we? Some of the hardest working people are living at the poverty line or under the poverty line. We have millions of literally working poor people in this country. They work a full-time job. They don't make enough money to survive. I mean, to not see the glaring issues with that. And look, for Elon Musk, one of the big things, how many red flags can there be before you wake up to some of them, right? Like, for example, this is low-hanging fruit. But remember when he claimed to be like one of the best video game players in the world for a couple specific games? And then he like live streamed himself playing one of those games, and all of the pros in that gaming community said, bro, he literally has no idea what he's doing. Like, he's not even good at it. He's not even good. Never mind one of the best players in the world. And he had lied relentlessly about how he's one of the best in the world. In order to be one of the best in the world, you got to play all day, every day, and basically do nothing but that. Homie, you got more than 13 kids. You got 1,000 fucking businesses. You've illegally taken over the government. And we're supposed to believe, oh yeah, he's just one of the best. Like, he's trying to sell this myth of like, I'm the most intelligent person that's ever lived. And it's just, he's high in his own supply. He looks like a fucking idiot because he is. If he's willing to lie about that, you're the richest man in the world and you felt the need to lie about being one of the top video game players in the world for some specific games. If he feels the need to lie about that, he's lying about fucking everything, bro. He's lying about everything.
And to quote some of these guys, you know, on the Joe Rogan subreddit, it was Jover whenever he had Mark Zuckerberg on and they're talking about smoking meats. Mark Zuckerberg, he has a 420-foot yacht. I don't know if you guys know, like, that's a football field of a yacht, dude. He has a football field, a floating football field. I don't know if any of you guys have that. I don't think that anyone who has that is worried about smoking meats, dude. I don't think that they're wanting to even talk about the simplest crap like that without getting frustrated or like why the hell are we talking about this? You know, why am I not working to, why are we not talking about how to get more money so I can get another football size yacht? You know, it's like that. It's something pathological about that to where people don't want to talk about normal stuff. You know, and it's, if you watch Elon did a Fortnite stream with somebody, it was so cringe how unrelatable he was. These guys are not relatable whatsoever. So why is Joe Rogan wanting to make them appear so relatable?
He is number one in PR and marketing. It's very Trumpian. That's what Trump did too. It's all about, he wants to try to make you believe in something bigger than yourself, right? And he wants to be that thing. Another comment, Joe, this guy laid off 10% of his workers to make sure he got a $56 billion bonus. You don't get $400 billion net worth without being wildly greedy. This goes on, bro. I actually got some fire memes from this subreddit. There's like a picture of somebody chugging water, and it says like, Elon Musk's piss is the water, and the woman drinking it, it says Joe Rogan. Oh, people are waking up to it, bro. People are waking up to it. I'm very happy people are waking up to it because it really is humiliating. And the other thing, like, the way he religiously dodges any and all stories about how much of a fucking idiot and an asshole Elon Musk is, it's just, like, I know you've seen the stories. I know you've seen the story about Elon Musk illegally slashing NIH funding, which includes cancer research for kids. I know you saw that. I know you saw Elon bragging about destroying the Consumer Financial Protection Bureau, which is the anti-scam police, and then in his replies, even a bunch of Elon supporters and MAGA supporters going, hold on, this is one of the good government agencies. This has nothing to do with waste, fraud, and abuse. This agency got my money back to me when I was robbed by a bank. I know Rogan's seen it. I know he's seen it. I know when he saw the Nazi salute that he went, yeah, that kind of looks like that. I know it. But then he gets in front of the public and he's like, bro, Elon, bro, he's like special, bro. Elon's like special. His little bit he does where he's like, oh, my little puny brain can't possibly compete with Elon Musk. Yes, Elon. Yes, where's the baby oil? I'll jack you off. Elon.
It's like whenever you go to a party with like a weird friend of yours, you know, and they're, you know, they might be making some people uncomfortable and you're like, he's just a little bit off, guys. Like, just give him a break. He's just a little bit weird. But instead of that, your friend is literally terrorizing and throwing like crap on the ground and breaking their stuff. And you're over here just saying like, hey guys, like, hey, just give him a break. He's just a little bit different than us, you know, and he's over here like pawning people's crap off for $20 on Facebook Marketplace.
Cuts as they cut the social safety net. And he just has these conversations, but they lie to everybody. They lie to everybody's face. And you go, oh, wow, I didn't know that. This is Joe Rogan sitting there saying shit like that. Well, now, this is the first time I have ever seen this man, even in the tiniest way, slightly disagree with Elon. So you ready for this? One of the things Elon's been going around saying is, well, we have a lot of people in Social Security who are 150 years old and they're getting checks. And then like every fact checker in the world, every expert in the world came out and said, that is 100% not true. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Right? And it had something to do with how they coded in the system. And there's even literally, like, it cuts off guaranteed for everybody over 115 years old anyway. Like, that's in there. It doesn't matter. He's lying. And he literally went on to say we can cut like 50% of Social Security and be okay. Oh, my God. It's the most popular government program in the country. It keeps your grandma out of poverty. The poverty rate before Social Security was 30% for old people. Now it's all the way down to 10% because of Social Security. So anyway, everybody and their mother, like, was like, Elon, you're fucking wrong. And they even had some government agency release a statement, say, oh, some people have said, and there's this false claim that's been reported about 150-year-olds. Turns out that's not true. That was their way of walking it back a little bit, right? And Trump even repeated the lie. Trump repeated that, which is mental. He was saying the same thing. Okay. Well, Joe on his show, listen to what he says. Ready?
Now they're talking about Social Security.
Yeah.
And that people are receiving Social Security that are 150 years old. But I don't think that is the reality as it's being explained by people who understand COBOL, the language, and this computer programming language that they use is ancient, right? Which is kind of crazy that they're still using that, right?
It's the government. I mean,
right.
Yeah.
So some guy who understands it was explaining that if certain factors aren't taken into consideration or certain things aren't entered in, you know, like date of birth or when there's certain things,
or date of death, or,
right? But it doesn't even necessarily mean that all these people are receiving checks,
right? Right. They're just listed on the files,
right?
And it doesn't mean money's going out to them. And so, yeah, again, from a messaging perspective, you know, does Elon need to like, you know, screenshot that and then send it out as a tweet or whatever we call X nowadays, and then suddenly you've got, you know, a couple million people going, oh my God, we're paying dead people. Well,
right. That's the problem with being hyperbolic.
Hyperbolic. He's being hyperbolic. I'm gonna try not to be the biggest dick in the world, right? Because this is the first time I think he's ever disagreed with Elon, insofar as I know. But this is the most you're gonna get from the truth teller. This is the most you're going to get.
So, yeah, Joe Rogan's really at a standoff. I mean, is he going to continue to shill and, you know, go in that direction and lose a lot of his core audience? Or is he going to stick to what got him so big in the first place, which is, hey, look, maybe we should be a little bit more objective about this. Maybe I should follow my gut. And, a lot of these guys who are in this power position, they're not following their gut. They're following the money signs. So they're going to be going in two different directions. The answer is Joe Rogan, or the question is Joe Rogan going to follow the money signs, or is he going to go back to following his gut? Let me know what you guys think in the comments, though. It's another day in the progressive way.